My phone buzzes with Torin's text, "You're not our priority. Right now. A gut punch on my 58th birthday. Eldrick Vaughn, retired. Gloucester fisherman. I'm alone staring at cold lobster bisque for 4. The waves crash outside, echoing Mara's laugh long gone. Her fishing knife glints, a symbol of our lost family, on the empty table. Why'd my kids ditch me for a Boston gala? This quiet betrayal tale for seniors unfolds with silent wounds and subtle truths. Share your own family drama silence over 50. In the comments, let's dive into this heartbreaking story. The gray waves slam against the rocky shore, each crash a dull roar that shakes the salt-crusted windows of my Gloucester cottage. It's 6:00 p.m., late November 2025, and the air's thick with the promise of a storm. Inside, the brass lamp on my oak table flickers its dim glow, barely holding back the shadows creeping across the faded plaid tablecloth. 4 bowls of lobster bisque sit cold, their steam long gone, the scent of butter and sea still lingering like a memory I can't shake. Lobster traps clutter the yard outside, their weathered ropes tangled like my thoughts. I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, today, and I'm alone. My hands rough from years hauling nets rest on a mortgage notice, the paper crinkled from too many reads. Past due, it says, like I don't know. My fixed income's stretched thinner than a frayed line. The cottage creaks, boards groaning under the wind's weight, and I glance at the maritime photos on the wall, me and Mara young, and laughing on the dock, Torin and Sigrid as kids, their faces bright with fish scale glitter. I set this table for them, my kids hoping this birthday might pull 'em back. Torin's 35, now a lawyer in Boston, always too busy. Sigrid's 32, painting her dreams somewhere I can't follow. I thought tonight'd be different. My clunky smartphone buzzes on the table, its cracked screen glowing like a beacon. I fumble at fingers stiff from the cold and squint at the text. It's from Torin. My chest tightens, hope flaring like a match in the dark. Maybe he's on his way, stuck in traffic. Maybe Sigrid's with him, her laugh filling his car. I tap the message, and the words hit like a gut punch. You're not our priority right now. I read it again, then a third time, the letters blurring. My hands tremble, the mortgage notice crinkling under my grip. Not our priority. I gave 'em my life-worked double shifts, mended nets till my hands bled, sold my dreams to pay for theirs. Torin's law school, Sigrid's art classes, Mara's hospital bills when the cancer came. And I'm not their priority. The waves crash louder, sounding like Mara's laugh, soft and gone, and I'm back on our boat, her hand on mine, promising we'd always have this. But she's been gone 10 years, and now the kids are slipping too. Happy 58th. Are you? I whisper, my voice rough, barely carrying over the ticking clock on the mantel. I stare at the empty chairs, their worn cushions mocking me. 4 place settings, 4 spoons, 4 napkins, folded just so. I cooked the bisque myself, like Mara taught me, simmering it slow to get the flavor right. I wanted tonight to matter, to pull us back to when we were a family, when Torin'd beg for sea stories and Sigrid'd draw mermaids on napkins. But the chairs stay empty, and the bisque's gone to waste. My thumb hovers over the phone, itching to call Torin to ask why. But what did I say? You owe me, I'm your father. I set the phone down, its screen dark now, and pick up the mortgage notice again. Final notice. It warns like the bank cares, I'm one missed payment from losing this place. The cottage ain't much peeling paint, a roof that leaks, but it's mine hours, the last piece of Mara I got left. I built it for her, for them, and now it's just me and the ghosts. The wind howls, rattling the lobster traps, and I think of Leora, my neighbor, who dropped by yesterday with a pie recipe and a warning about the storm comin'. "You holdin' up Eldrick?" she'd asked, her eyes seeing too much. I'd shrugged, said, "You always do, but I ain't holdin' up, not tonight. I'm 58 and my kids can't be bothered to show. I gave 'em everything, why am I nothin' to 'em? I stand legs stiff and walk to the window. The sea's a churn of foam and shadow like my insides. I used to love that sound, the waves calling me out to fish, to fight to live. Now it just reminds me how far I've drifted." I press my hand to the cold glass, my breath fogging it, and try to picture Torin's face. Is he at some fancy Boston bar laughing with strangers? Is Sigrid painting in her loft, lost in colors I'll never understand? The text burns in my mind, each word a knife twistin' deeper. I turn back to the table, the lamp's flicker catching the fishing knife I left by the bisque pot. Mara gave it to me, her initials carved in the handle, a gift when we bought this place. I pick it up, the wood smooth under my thumb, and trace her letters. MV. I can still hear her voice teasing me about my knots, promising we'd grow old here. I wanted tonight to honor that, to show Torin and Sigrid what family means. But they ain't here, and I'm talking to ghosts. The clock ticks louder each second, a hammer on my heart. I sit again, the chair creaking under me, and stare at the empty seats. I could text 'em back, demand answers, but what's the point? They made their choice. I grip the knife tighter, not 'cause I'm angry, but 'cause it's all I got left of her, of us. The waves keep crashing, Mara's laugh echoing in 'em, and I wonder if I'm the fool for waitin'. I set the knife down, its blade catching the lamp's light, and pick up the mortgage notice one last time. Final notice. Ain't just the bank talking, it's life telling me time's running out. I fold the paper, tuck it in my pocket, and lean back, the chair's creak the only sound besides the storm. I ain't calling 'em. I ain't begging. But I can't shake the question gnawing at me. Why didn't Torin show what's keeping him away? The cottage glows soft under the afternoon light, a warm haven against the gray November sky outside. It's 3:00 p.m., a few hours before this whole damn birthday falls apart, and I'm in my element, moving through the kitchen like I'm still haulin' nets. The air's thick with the smell of seafood, lobster bisque, simmerin' low on the stove butter, and salt mixin' with the tang of the sea. I hum a sea shanty, one my pa sang on the docks, its rhythm steady as the waves crashin' beyond the lobster traps piled in the yard. This is Gloucester, Massachusetts, November 2025, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58. Today, thinking maybe this dinner'll bring my kids back home. Maritime photos line the cottage walls, faded snapshots of a life I still cling to. There's me and Mara, young and sunburned, grinning on our boat, her hair wild in the wind. Another of Torin, maybe 8, holding up a tiny cod, his eyes big as moons. Sigrid's there too, 6 her crayons scattered on the dock, drawing mermaids with lopsided tails. I glance at him as I stir the bisque, the wooden spoon scraping the pot, and feel a tug in my chest. Torin's 35, now a lawyer in Boston, always rushin'. Sigrid's 32, paintin' her heart out, driftin' further each year. I ain't seen 'em together in months, but tonight's my birthday, and I'm bettin' on family. I set the spoon down, wipe my hands on my apron, and fish my clunky smartphone from my pocket. It's a beat-up thing, screen-cracked apps I don't understand. Ain't like the sleek gadgets Torin's got or the tablet Sigrid's always sketching on. I squint, thumb fumbling over the keys, and type a text to both dinner at 6. Means a lot. I hit send, the phone buzzing faintly, and stare at the screen, waiting. No dots, no reply. My gut twists, but I push it down. They're busy, I tell myself. They'll see it. They'll come. If I keep trying, they'll come back, are you? The bisque bubbles, and I turn back to it, stirring slow the way Mara showed me. Low heat Eldrick, she'd say, her laugh warm as the stove. Let it love itself. I smile, the memory so sharp it stings. 10 years she's been gone, cancer taken her too soon, leaving me to hold this family together. I try, but Torrens' calls are short. Sigrid's visits rare. Tonight's my chance to fix it, to set a table that pulls 'em home. I taste the bisque, add a pinch of salt, and nod. It's good, damn good. Mara'd be proud. I step to the counter where Mara's fishing knife rests, its wooden handle worn smooth by years of use. Her initials, MV, are carved deep, a gift from our first summer here. I pick it up, polish it with a rag, the blade catching the light like a promise. This knife's more than steel. It's us, our life on the water, the nights we'd gut fish under the stars, laughin' till we couldn't breathe. I set it by the pot, a quiet anchor, and think of Torren holding it as a boy, his small hands trying to mimic mine. Sigrid'd watch sketching the fish scales. I smile at the photo on the wall, their faces frozen in that summer glow. They'll come, I think. They gotta. The cottage creaks boards, settling as the wind picks up outside. I glance at the phone again, still nothing. My fingers itch to text again, but I don't. Ain't gonna beg. Instead, I grab a scrap of paper from the drawer, a habit from years of plannin' hauls. I scribble a grocery list, milk bread, maybe pie fixins for tomorrow's Thanksgiving prep. The pen scratches loud in the quiet, and I pause, staring at the words. Writin' keeps my hands steady, my mind from wanderin' to the empty driveway. Maybe I'll write him a note tonight, something to say what I can't out loud. I tuck the list in my pocket, not sure why, and move to the table. The table's old oak, worn from years of dinners, fights, and laughter. I set it careful like it's a ritual. 4 plates, 4 spoons, 4 napkins folded neat. I smooth the plaid tablecloth, its edges frayed, and step back, checking my work. Looks right, like the Thanksgivings we used to have Mara at the head Torren spillin' gravy, Sigrid drawin' on the cloth when she thought we weren't lookin'. I chuckle, the sound hollow in the empty room. The waves keep crashin' a steady pulse, and I hum the shanty again, quieter now, like it's just for me. I check the phone one last time, hopin' for those little dots that mean they're typin'. Nothin'. My chest tightens, but I shake it off. They're on their way, I tell myself, picturing Torren's car pulling up, Sigrid's laugh cutting through the storm. I set the bisque pot on the table, the steam risin' like a prayer, and adjust a spoon, then another. The clock ticks each second heavier than the last. I ain't sure why, but I feel like I'm waitin' for more than just dinner, like I'm waitin' for proof we're still a family. The lamp flickers, casting shadows on the maritime photos, and I catch my reflection in the window. Lined face gray, creepin' into my beard eyes that have seen too many storms. I'm 58, and I'm still tryin', still settin' this table, still believin' they'll walk through that door. The knife glints on the counter, Mara's initials, a silent promise. I touch it just for a moment and feel her with me, urging me to keep going. I nod like she can see me and turn back to the table, ready to wait. But the phone stays dark, no buzz, no dots. I swallow hard, the shanty dyin' in my throat. The waves crash louder, and I wonder if I'm foolin' myself thinking a bowl of bisque and a birthday can fix what's been breaking for years. I set the last napkin down my hands, steady but my heart racin'. Will they show Ayu? Or am I setting this table for ghosts? The clock ticks past 6:30 p.m. Its steady beat, a hammer in my chest, and the lobster bisque sits cold on the oak table. Its buttery scent faded to a whisper. I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, in my Gloucester cottage, November 2025, waitin' for a family that ain't shown up. The brass lamp flickers, casting jittery shadows across the plaid tablecloth, and the 4 empty chairs stare back like old friends who've forgotten my name. Outside, gray waves crash against the rocky shore, their roar slippin' through the drafty windows, mixin' with the hum of a neighbor's turkey fryer gearin' up for Thanksgiving. The mortgage notice lies by my clunky smartphone, its final notice bold as a threat. I'm holding on. But for what I lean back in my chair, the wood creaking under me, and stare at the phone, willin' it to buzz. Nothing. No dots, no texts from Torin or Sigrid. I sent that message hours ago. Dinner at 6. Means a lot, and it's like I shouted into the sea. Torin's probably stuck in some Boston meetin' his lawyer suit crisp, no time for his old man. Sigrid's maybe lost in her paints, her loft a mess of colors I can't picture. I cooked this bisque, set this table thinking my 58th birthday'd bring him home. But the waves keep crashin', and I'm startin' to wonder, am I enough if they don't come? The lamp flickers again, and I fumble the phone, its cracked screen glowin' dim. My thumbs thick from years haulin' nets ain't made for this thing. I tap the messages hopin' I missed something, but it's just my text sittin' there like a fool's prayer. I set it down, the mortgage notice catchin' my eye. Past due, it says like I don't feel it in my bones. This cottage peelin', paint leaky roof is all I got left of Mara, of us. I can't lose it, not after losing her. But with no help from the kids and my pension stretched thin, it's slipping through my fingers like sand. A knock at the door jolts me sharp and quick. My heart leaps. Maybe it's Torin or Sigrid running late, but here. I stand chair scraping the floor and shuffle to the door, wiping my hands on my jeans. The wind howls as I open it, and there's Leora Mendez, my neighbor, holding a pie tin wrapped in foil, her gray hair tucked under a knit cap. Her face, lined like mine, softens when she sees me. "Eldrick thought you might like some apple pie," she says. Her voice warm, but careful, like she's treading light. "Pie, huh? You're spoiling me, Leora," I say, forcing a grin, taking the tin. It's still warm, the smell of cinnamon cutting through the sea salt in the air. I step aside, letting her in, and she glances at the table, the untouched bisque, the empty chairs. Her eyes flicker with something pity, maybe, and I look away, setting the pie on the counter by Mara's fishing knife, its initials glinting under the lamp. "They're running late, are ya?" I mutter more to myself than her fussing with a napkin on the table. Leora don't push, just nods, her coat rustling as she steps closer. "Kids these days always rushin'," she says, but her tone's got an edge like she knows more'n she's letting on. "You're a good dad, Eldrick. They're lucky to have you." I shrug, the words landin' heavy. Lucky I ain't so sure. I pick up the phone again, thumb tapping the screen hoping for a text, but it's blank. The waves crash outside loud enough to drown my thoughts, and I'm back on the boat with Mara, her laugh riding the swell, Torin and Sigrid squealin' as we hauled traps. Those days I was enough father provider, the man who kept us afloat. Now, I'm just a guy with a cold dinner and a phone that don't buzz. Leora watches me, her eyes sharp but kind. "You been to the Veterans Center lately?" she asks, casual, like it's nothing. "They're planning a big Thanksgiving meal, could use a hand." I nod, half listening, my mind on the empty driveway. The center's a good place, folks like me, old salts and soldiers sharing stories, but it ain't home, ain't family. Still, her words stick a seed I don't know I'm plantin'. "Leora, you ever feel like you're shouting into the wind?" I say, my voice low, cracking at the edges. She tilts her head, considering, and I see the weight in her eyes, the kind that comes from losing her boy years back, not to death, but to distance. "All the time," she says, soft. "But you keep shouting, Eldrick." Someone hears eventually. I swallow the truth of it, stinging. I set the phone down, its screen dark, and admit what I've been dodging. They ain't called in months, ya? Not really. A text here, a voicemail there, but nothing real. The words burn, coming out like spilling a secret I didn't know I was keeping. Leora don't flinch, just rests a hand on my arm, her touch steady. "Keep the faith," she says, then heads for the door, leaving the pie's warmth behind. The door clicks shut, and I'm alone again, the waves crashing like they're trying to tell me something. I walk back to the table, the bisque now a sad puddle, and sit staring at the mortgage notice. Final notice. Ain't just the cottage, it's my hope my family slippin' away. I pick up the phone, check it one last time, but it's still silent, mocking me. The turkey fryer hums outside, a reminder of Thanksgiving comin', of neighbors gatherin' while I sit here waitin' for ghosts. I touch the fishing knife, its handle cool. Mara's initials a quiet comfort. I set this table for Torin for Sigrid, thinking a birthday could stitch us back together. But the clock keeps tickin', the lamp keeps flickerin', and the chairs stay empty. My gut churns a question, clawing at me. What's keeping them away? Are they caught in traffic, or is it something worse, something I don't want to face? I lean back the cottage, creaking around me, and wait, knowing the answer might break what's left of me. The lamp flickers, its weak glow sputterin' like my hope, throwing jagged shadows across the plaid tablecloth. It's 7:00 p.m., November 2nd, 2025, and I'm standin' in my Gloucester cottage, the lobster bisque, cold as the grave, 4 empty chairs mockin' me. The waves pound outside, a relentless roar through the drafty windows, mixin' with the creak of lobster traps in the yard, their ropes knotted like my gut. The mortgage notice sits by my clunky smartphone, its final notice a blade, twistin' deeper. I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, and my kids, Torin and Sigrid, ain't here for my birthday. They ain't comin'. I slump in my chair, the wood groanin' under me, and grab the phone, its cracked screen glowin' dim. My thumbs, scarred from years haulin' nets, fumble over the keys, searchin' for something to hold on to. No texts, no calls, just my message from hours ago. Dinner at 6. Means a lot sittin' unanswered like a fool's plea. I stare at the empty chairs, their napkins still folded, the bisque a crusty mess now. I cooked for 'em, set this table thinking my 58th could stitch us back together. But it's 7:00, and I'm alone, the waves crashin' like they're laughin' at me. My fingers twitch, and I tap an app, some 2025 social platform Torin's always on about, its interface slicker than I can handle. I don't know why I'm looking, maybe to prove they're just late, caught in traffic, not ignoring me. The screen loads, and there it is, a live-streamed feed labeled Boston Gala New Beginnings. My breath catches, and I see Torin and Sigrid smilin' under crystal chandeliers, glasses raised. Torin's in a sharp suit, his lawyer grin flashin'. Sigrid's in a dress, her hair loose, laughin' with some city type. The caption burns New Beginnings. An AI assistant's voice drones, celebratin' Boston's brightest futures, and I feel my chest cave. My work, their party. I gave 'em everything, double shifts on the boats. Hands bled raw to pay for Torin's law school. Sigrid's art dreams. I sold my chance at a captain's job, kept this cottage afloat when Mara's cancer bills near drowned us. And they're toasting in Boston while I'm here, bisque gone to waste, mortgage notice staring me down. The phone shakes in my hand, and I slam it on the table, the screen cracking further, a spider web of my rage. I mutter the word sharp, like I'm spitting out the hurt. I grip Mara's fishing knife, its handle cool, her initials, MV carved deep. It's more'n a blade, it's us, our nights guttin' fish, her laugh mixin' with the sea. I polished it today, thinking it'd mean something to 'em, a piece of their ma they'd want to hold. But they're at a gala clinkin' glasses while I'm holdin' a ghost. The knife glints under the lamp's flicker, and I want to hurl it, let it stick in the wall, but I just clutch it tighter, my knuckles white. The waves pound harder like my pulse, and I'm back on the dock years ago teaching Torin to tie a knot. His hands small, but eager. Sigrid'd sit nearby, sketching the traps, her crayons bright against the gray wood. I worked for those days, for their future, and now they're celebrating without me. I growl low and raw. They chose a damn party, and the words rip out bitter as the salt air. I ain't just hurt. I'm angry, the kind that burns slow and deep like a fire in the hold. The cottage creaks the wind, howlin' through the traps, and I glance at the mortgage notice again. Final notice. I'm losing this place, the last piece of Mara of us, and my kids don't even know. Or care. I set the knife down, its glint a cold reminder, and pick up the phone, the shattered screen cuttin' my thumb. I swipe through the gala feed, seein' Torin shake hands, Sigrid laughin', and it's like I'm watchin' strangers. The AI voice chirps, "New beginnings powered by tomorrow's tech, and I want to smash the damn thing." I lean back, chair creakin', and stare at the empty chairs, their silence louder than the storm. I set this table for family for Torin and Sigrid, thinkin' bisque, and a birthday could pull us close. But they're in Boston livin' a life I don't fit into, and I'm here wonderin' how I became nothin' to 'em. The waves keep crashin', the lamp keeps flickerin', and a question claws at me. Why the gala? What's so damn important they'd leave me here alone on my 58th? The fire crackles in the hearth. Its warm glow pushin' back the shadows in my Gloucester cottage, but it don't touch the cold knot in my chest. It's 7:30 p.m., November 2nd, 2025, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, sittin' at an oak table set for a family that ain't here. The storm's softenin' outside, the waves still mutterin', but less fierce, like they're tired of fightin'. The brass lamps steady now, lightin' the plaid tablecloth, and 4 bowls of lobster bisque gone crusty and sad. Mara's fishing knife rests by a maritime photo on the counter, her initials MV catchin' the firelight. The turkey fryer hums next door, a low drone of Thanksgiving prep, remindin' me the world's movin' on while I'm stuck waitin'. The mortgage notice sits by my clunky phone, its final notice a weight I can't shake. I'm still reelin' from the gala feed, Torin and Sigrid in Boston, clinkin' glasses, smilin' for some AI-streamed crowd, while I'm here alone, my birthday, bisque wastin' away. New beginnings, the caption said, like I'm old news. I gave 'em everything nights on the boats, hands tore up dreams sold to keep 'em afloat, and they chose a party over me. The empty chairs around the table stare back their silence louder than the storm ever was. I'm trying to hold on to the anger, but it's slippin' leavin', just hurt raw and heavy. Maybe I ain't enough, I think, and the thought burns worse than Torin's text, "You're not our priority right now." My phone buzzes a sharp jolt that snaps me upright. The cracked screen glows and I grab it, thumbs fumblin' like they forgot how to work. It's Sigrid. My heart leaps a flicker of hope, lighten up the dark. Maybe she's callin' to explain, to say they're comin', that the gala was a mistake. I hit answer, press the phone to my ear, and her voice comes through, shaky but familiar. "Dad, I'm so sorry," she says, words rushin' out. "Traffic's a mess on 128. I'm comin' now, I swear, Sigrid." I say, my voice softer than I mean it to be, like her calls meltin' the ice in me. "You okay, kid?" The word kid slips out old habit, like she's still the girl sketchin' mermaids on the dock. The fire crackles poppin', like the Thanksgivings we used to have, Mara stirrin' gravy, Sigrid stealin' rolls. Maybe they care. I think the hope fragile but real, like a line I'm afraid to pull too hard. "Yeah, just stuck," Sigrid says, and I hear horns in the background, the snarl of Boston traffic. "I didn't mean to miss it, Dad. I'm tryin'." Her voice trembles, and I picture her hair messy, maybe in that dress from the gala, fightin' her way here. I soften, leanin' back in my chair, the creak of wood groundin' me. "Get here safe," I say, and I mean it, wantin' her here, wantin' us whole again. I hang up the phone, warm in my hand, and set it down. My eyes catchin' Sigrid's painting propped against the wall. It's a new one she sent last month, a stark image of empty chairs around a table, their lines jagged like they're waitin' for ghosts. I stare at it, the fire's glow dancin' on the canvas, and feel a pang. She painted this, her heart in every stroke, and it's like she's talkin' to me, sayin' what I'm feelin' alone, waitin', hopin'. I touch the frame, my fingers rough against the wood, and wonder if she feels it too, the distance between us. The fire pops again, and I'm back at a Thanksgiving years ago. Sigrid drawin' on napkins, Torin spillin' cider, Mara laughin' so hard she cried. I cooked then 2 bisque and all, and we were a family, not this scattered mess. Sigrid's call feels like a lifeline, a chance to get that back. I adjust a napkin on the table, smoothen it like it matters, and let myself believe she'll walk through that door, her laugh filling the cottage. But the phone stays quiet. No word from Torin. I check it, thumb tapping the screen, hoping for a text, a call, anything. Nothing. His silence is a blade sharper than Sigrid's call is soft. Where's he at? Still at that gala, shaking hands, living a life I don't fit, or somewhere else too busy to care. The hope? Sigrid stirred, starts to fray like a rope worn thin. I set the phone down, the mortgage notice glaring up at me, reminding me I'm losing more than just tonight. The turkey fryer hums on a neighbor's voice, calling out planning for a holiday I might not share. The fire's glow warms my hands, but not my heart, and I look at Sigrid's painting again, its empty chairs echoing the ones in front of me. She's coming, she said. But what about Torin? What's keeping him away? I lean forward, elbows on the table, and listen to the waves, softer now, like they're holding their breath. Will Sigrid mend things? Or is this just another promise the sea'll wash away? The wind howls, rattling the windows of my Gloucester cottage like it's trying to tear the place apart. It's 8:30 p.m., November 2nd, 2025. And I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, standing by the oak table, its plaid cloth still set with 4 bowls of cold lobster bisque, their scent long gone. The storm's back, fiercer now, the waves crashing against the shore like they're angry for me. Lobster traps clatter in the yard, their ropes whipping in the gale. Mara's fishing knife rests by her photo on the counter, its initials MV, glinting under the brass lamp's flicker. The mortgage notice lies crumpled by my clunky phone, a reminder of everything I'm losing. The empty chairs around the table are a silent accusation, my birthday dinner. A bust, and Sigrid's call, her promise to come, feels like a lie after seeing her and Torin at that Boston gala, toasting to new beginnings without me. I pace, boots thudding on the worn floor, the fire's glow barely holding back the dark. Sigrid said she was coming stuck in traffic, but it's been an hour and my hopes fraying like old line. Torin's silence stings worse. No text, no call, just that damn message, "You're not our priority right now." I gave him my life nights on the boats, hands tore up dreams traded for their future. And they're partying in Boston, leaving me here alone, wondering if I'm nothing to 'em. The waves crash louder, and I'm trying not to break, but it's hard, damn hard. The door bangs open, wind gusting in, and Sigrid stumbles through her hair wild dress rumpled from the gala. My heart jumps relief, mixing with anger. "Sigrid," I say, voice rough, stopping mid-step. She shuts the door, shivering, and meets my eyes, hers wide like she's expecting a fight. "Dad, I'm sorry," she starts, voice shaky. Traffic was hell, and she stops seeing the table, the bisque, the empty chairs. Her face falls, and I want to believe her, want to think she cares, but the gala feed burns in my mind. Her laugh, Torin's grin. I step closer, and something catches the lamp's light, a glint at her throat. My breath catches. It's Mara's sapphire necklace, the one I gave her our first summer here. It's blue stone, deep as the sea. I ain't seen it in years, kept it locked in the safe for the kids, a piece of their ma to pass down. "Where'd you get that, are you?" I ask, my voice low, trembling with something I can't name. Sigrid's hand flies to the necklace, her fingers fumbling. "Torin, he gave it to me," she stammers, eyes darting away. "Said it was a gift for the gala. Torin sold our heart." The words hit like a rogue wave, knocking the air out of me. I stagger to the counter, grabbing the fishing knife, its handle cool. Mara's initials grounding me. I'm back in 95, kneeling on the dock, slipping that necklace round Mara's neck, her laugh bright as the sun. "For you always," I'd said, and she'd kissed me, salt on her lips. That sapphire was us, our love, our family locked safe for Torin and Sigrid. And Torin gave it to her, like it was his to give. I lurch to the safe, tucked behind a maritime photo, my hands shaken as I spin the dial. The door swings open and it's empty, just a hollow echo where Mara's jewels should be. No sapphire, no rings, no brooch, nothing. My knees buckle, and I grip the counter, the knife heavy in my hand. He's selling her memory. I whisper the words, choking me raw and bitter. Torin didn't just skip my birthday, he's been taking what's left of us, pawning it for cash for his new beginnings. And Sigrid's wearing the proof right there, glinting like a lie. Dad. I didn't know Sigrid says, voice small, stepping toward me. Her stammer hangs in the air, a warning I can't ignore like a squall on the horizon. I turn looking at her, really looking. Her eyes are wet, but there's something else, guilt maybe, or fear. What does she know, I want to ask, but the words stick my throat tight. The waves crash a violent rhythm, and I feel abandoned, not just by Torin's theft, but by everything I thought we were. I gave him my life, my hands, my heart, my dreams, and this is what I get. A stolen sapphire and an empty safe. The fishing knife trembles in my grip. Not 'cause I'd hurt her, never that, but 'cause it's all I got left of Mara, of the family I tried to hold. Sigrid's necklace glints a cruel mirror of what's gone, and I set the knife down, its blade catching the lamp's flicker. The cottage creaks, traps rattling outside, and I stare at the empty chairs, the bisque, the mortgage notice. I'm losing everything, and my own son's helping it along. What else is Torin hiding? The question claws at me, sharp as the wind, and I know this ain't the end of it. The storm rages, a wild beast tearing at my Gloucester cottage, its roar shaking the windows like it wants in. It's 9:00 p.m. November 2nd, 2025. And I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, standing in a kitchen that feels more like a grave. The brass lamp flickers, barely holding the dark at bay, lighting the plaid tablecloth, where 4 bowls of lobster bisque sit cold and forgotten. Like me. The empty safe gapes on the counter, a hollow wound where Mara's jewels should be, her fishing knife, beside it, its initials MV gleaming like a ghost's whisper. Sigrid's painting of empty chairs leans in the corner, its jagged lines mocking the real chairs round my table, silent and cruel. Lobster traps groan in the yard, their creaks lost in the storm's howl. The mortgage notice lies crumpled by my clunky phone, its final notice, a noose tightening round my neck. Sigrid stands across from me, her sapphire necklace. Mara's necklace stolen by Torin glinting under the lamp, a betrayal hanging heavy 'tween us. Her eyes are wet, her dress rumpled from the gala, but I ain't seeing my little girl no more. I see a stranger wearing my wife's memory like it's just jewelry. My hands shake, not from cold, but from something deeper, something breaking inside. How could you wear it knowing he stole it, I demand, my voice raw, cracking like the traps outside. You knew it was your ma's, Sigrid. How? She flinches, her fingers touching the sapphire, then dropping like it burns. I didn't think it mattered no more, she whispers, her voice so small it's near lost in the storm. Torin said it was just sitting there that we could use it. Her words hit like a gut punch, knocking the wind out of me. Didn't matter. I gave my life for this family, worked nights till my hands bled, sold my dreams for their future, kept Mara's jewels safe for him, a piece of her to hold. And it didn't matter. I gave my life, and you let it go? It was your ma's. I snap, my voice booming over the storm, loud enough to make Sigrid step back. That sapphire, those rings, they were her, Sigrid. Our family, our heart, and you let Torin pawn it like it was nothing. My hands grip the table. Knuckles white, the wood creaking under my rage. A pen in my pocket jabs my thigh, a sharp reminder of the grocery list I scribbled earlier, a habit to keep my hands steady. I want to write now, pour this hurt onto paper, but I can't move, can't think past the pain. Sigrid's eyes drop, and she pulls a sketch pad from her bag, her hands shaken, as she draws a chair empty like the ones in her painting, like the ones staring at me now. I didn't know he'd take it all, she says, voice breaking. He said it was just the necklace for the gala to look good for investors. Her pencil scratches frantic, and I see it in her face, guilt, but not enough to undo what's done. She knew maybe not the whole truth, but enough, and she wore it anyway. Let Torin rip out what's left of us. I'm back in 95. Mara's laugh fillin' the cottage, her sapphire necklace glintin' as she danced to a sea shanty Torin and Sigrid gigglin' at her feet. I worked for those nights for this family, and now it's gone, pawned, scattered like fish guts in the tide. The storm roars matchin' the fury in me, but it's fadin', leavin' just a hollow ache. I slump into a chair, the creak loud in the quiet, my hands fallin' limp. I'm nothin' to you both. I whisper the words, chokin' me heavy as the sea. It ain't just the necklace. It's me, my sacrifices, my love ignored, tossed aside like an old net. Sigrid stops, sketchin' her pencil droppin', and looks at me, eyes wide like she's seein' me for the first time. Dad, that's not. She starts, but I shake my head, too tired to hear it. The lamp flickers, casting her painting in shadow, its empty chairs echo in my heart. The knife gleams on the counter, Mara's initials, a silent plea, but I can't touch it, can't hold on to her no more. The mortgage notice glares reminded me I'm losing the cottage too, and my kids don't care. They're out there living their new beginnings while I'm here drowning in what's left. The storm's roar fills the silence, the traps groaning like they're mourning with me. Sigrid's sketchpad lies open that chair, stark and alone, and I wonder if she feels it, the loneliness that's swallowing me. I gave everything, my hands, my heart, my life, and it's not enough. The pen in my pocket feels heavy, like it's waiting for words I ain't ready to write. Can I confront Torin? The question hangs sharp as the wind, and I don't know if I got the strength to face what's next, or if it'll break me for good. The fire's dyin' in the hearth, its embers glowin' faint, barely warmin' the Gloucester cottage. It's 10 Huzzers p.m., November 2nd, 2025, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, standin' alone, clutchin' Mara's fishing knife, its handle worn smooth initials, MV, cool under my thumb. The storm's still ragin' outside, wind, howlin' waves crashin' like they're trying to drown my thoughts. Water drips from the roof, a steady plink in the corner, another damn thing I can't afford to fix. Sigrid's gone, her sketchpad left open on the table, that empty chair, staring up, echoing her painting in the corner. The plaid tablecloths still set with cold bisque, empty chairs, round it silent as graves. Maritime photos watch from the walls, me Mara. The kids smilin' in a life that's slippin' away. The mortgage notice sits by my clunky phone, final notice glarin' like it knows I'm losin' everything. I'm reelin' from Sigrid's words. Didn't matter no more. Like Mara's sapphire, our family's heart was just trinkets to her and Torin. The safe's empty, its echo a knife in my gut. Torin stole it all, pawned what I kept sacred, and Sigrid wore it knowing he took it. He sold our past while I believed I think the betrayal cuttin' deeper than I thought possible. The waves crash their rhythm, pullin' me back, and I'm on the dock years ago, the sea callin' me like it always did. It's 2005. Torin's 15. All lanky arms and big dreams. I'm 38, strong as an ox, teaching him to fish the knife in his hands as he tries to gut a cod laughing when it slips. Like this sun, I say, guiding his grip, the sun hot on our necks. Mara's watching from the boat, Sigrid sketching nearby, her crayons bright. I'd just turned down a captain's job. Good money, steady work to stay close to pay for Torin's schoolin'. This is us, I tell him, nodding at the knife, the sea, the family. You'll carry it one day. He grins, believin' me, and I think I'm doin' right, givin' him a future. The waves crash again, yankin' me back to the cottage, the knife heavy in my hand. I believed in him, in us, but Torin's been sellin' our past piece by piece. I stumble to the safe, hopin' I missed something, and my foot kicks a paper under the counter. I bend heart racin' and pick it up a 2024 pawn shop receipt, Torin's name scrawled in his sharp hand. My breath catches. This ain't new. He's been at it for a year, maybe more, taking Mara's jewels while I was cooking bisque, setting tables, waiting for family. The betrayal ain't just tonight. It spans years, a slow bleed I never saw. I slump against the counter, the receipt crumpling in my fist, the knife still in my other hand. He sold our past, and I'm abandoned not just by a missed dinner, but by a son who's been leaving me behind for years. The roof drips plink-plink like a clock counting down what's left. I look up, eyes catching a photo on the wall, me with veterans at the Gloucester Center smiling after a fish fry, their faces worn but kind. Leora mentioned it earlier, a Thanksgiving meal they're planning, but it feels far off, like hope I can't touch. The fire's near, dead, the cottage cold, and I realize it ain't just Mara's jewels Torin took. It's us, the family. I built the man I thought I was. The waves fade to laughter in my mind, Torin's boyish grin. But it's gone, replaced by that receipt, his name a wound. Why did Torin betray me? The question burns sharp as the knife, and I don't know if I can face the answer or what it'll cost me to try. Dawn creeps into my Gloucester cottage, a gray light slipping through the drafty windows, heavy as the air round me. It's November 3rd, 2025, just past sunrise, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, sitting at the oak table, its plaid cloth still littered with cold bisque bowls, empty chairs staring back like ghosts. The storm's passed, leaving a calm that don't feel peaceful, just tired. Mara's fishing knife lies on the table, its initials MV dull in the morning gloom next to the crumpled 2024 pawn shop receipt, with Torin's name a wound that won't close. The mortgage notice sits nearby. Final notice mocking my failures. Sigrid's painting of empty chairs looms in the corner, a mirror of my heart, and the faint cry of gulls outside mixes with the creak of lobster traps in the yard. I'm hollow abandoned, after learning Torin's been selling Mara's jewels for a year, and Sigrid, my girl, wore that stolen sapphire saying it didn't matter. Leora Mendez sits across from me, her knit cap off gray hair, loose her coffee mug steaming in the quiet. She came at first light knocking soft, saying she saw my light still on. I ain't slept, ain't moved much since Sigrid left last night, her sketch of a chair still open on her pad like a confession. I grip the knife, its weight steadying me, but my mind's churning. Torin's betrayal cuts deep, years of it, but Sigrid's words didn't matter no more, cut deeper. I believed in her thought she'd hold tight to Mara's memory to us. Even my girl betrayed me. I think the subtext bit her like salt in a wound. Leora sips her coffee, her eyes heavy like she's carrying her own ghosts. "You're hurtin', Eldrick," she says, voice soft but firm like she's seen this before. I nod, jaw tight, staring at the receipt. "Torin's been taking everything," I mutter, voice rough, and Sigrid just let him. Leora sets her mug down, the clink loud in the dawn's hush, and leans forward. I lost my boy, the same way she says, her words slow, each one a stone. Not dead, just gone. Stopped callin', stopped carin'. Left me shoutin' into the wind like you. Her story hits hard, a mirror to my pain, and I see it in her face. Loneliness, the kind that settles in your bones when family drifts away. "I'm sorry, Leora," I say, meanin' it, but she shakes her head, eyes sharp. "That's not the point," she says, then pauses like she's weighing her next words. "I saw Sigrid last year, Eldrick, at the pawn shop summer of 24. She was there when Torin brought the first piece, Mara's brooch. She hesitated, looked like she might stop him, but she didn't. Said nothing. Didn't want to hurt you, she told me later. The words land like a breaker knocking me back. Sigrid knew. My girl, my hope, stood by while Torin pawned Mara's memory and said nothing. I tightened my jaw, teeth grinding the knife's weight heavy in my hand. She chose him, ayo, I say, voice low. A growl that don't hide the hurt. Sigrid's silence ain't just apathy. It's betrayal, enablement, letting Torin tear us apart while I was cooking bisque, setting tables, believing we were still a family. The gulls cry outside, mournful, and I feel abandoned not just by Torin's theft, but by Sigrid's choice to look away. Leora sighs, a sound like the tide going out, and I see her own loss in her eyes, her son's neglect echo in mine. She's young, Eldrick, she says, but it don't soothe me. Young or not, Sigrid knew, and her silence cuts as deep as Torin's greed. The dawn light grows gray and cold, painting the empty chairs in stark relief. I gave my life for them, hands bled, dreams sold, this cottage kept through Mara's cancer, and they've both turned their backs, leaving me to drown in loneliness, the kind that festers when family enables neglect. I grab the knife, its blade glinting like a promise, and stand chair scraping the floor. Gotta see Torin, I say, voice hard, the words a vow. I need answers, need to face him to know why he's been stealing us away. The receipt crinkles in my pocket, the pen from last night's list jabbing my thigh like it's waiting for a note I ain't ready to write. Leora watches her face still, but her eyes say she knows this road, knows it's gonna hurt. The cottage is quiet, save the gulls, and the drip of the roof a leak I can't fix on my pension. The mortgage notice glares, the painting looms, and I feel the weight of it all, Torin's theft, Sigrid's silence, my own failure to hold us together. What will I do? The question hangs sharp as the knife in my hand, and I step toward the door, the dawn's calm, mocking the storm in my heart. Dusk paints Boston's skyline in bruised purples, the city lights flickering through the glass walls of Torin's high-rise apartment. It's November 3rd, 2025, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, standing in a place that feels like another world far from my Gloucester cottage. My jacket's damp from the drive, the radio's 2025 folk tune, Cape Ann Blues, still humming in my head, its lonesome chords matching my mood. Torin's AI assistant hums softly, a sleek orb on the counter, managing his life in ways I can't grasp. The apartment's all sharp edges, chrome glass, nothing like the weathered oak and lobster traps back home. Mara's fishing knife weighs heavy in my pocket, its initials MV, a quiet anchor. I'm here to face Torin, my boy. After finding his name on a 2024 pawn shop receipt proof he's been selling Mara's jewels, our family's heart for years. And Sigrid, my girl, knew and said nothing. I'm abandoned, and it's time for answers. Torin stands by the window, his lawyer suit crisp dark hair, slicked back 35, but looking like he's already running the world. His eyes narrow when he sees me like I'm an intruder, not his father. The city hums below, a distant buzz that don't touch the silence, tween us. I pull the crumpled receipt from my pocket, its edges worn from my grip, and toss it on the glass table, the clink loud in the sterile room. You sold your ma's memory, you? I say. Voice low, trembling with rage and hurt. Her sapphire, her rings our family. Why, Torin? He glances at the receipt, then back at me, his jaw tight. You don't get it, Dad? He snaps, voice sharp like he's cross-examining me. Your legacy fishing that damn cottage, it trapped us. I had to get out, make something of myself. His words cut deep like a blade through line. Trapped. I gave everything nights on the boats. Hands tore up my captain's dreams sold to pay for his law school. And he spits on it, calling it a cage I gave everything, and you spit on it. I think the subtext burning in my chest, raw and unspoken. I worked nights for you, boy. I retort, voice rising, echoing off the glass walls. Bled for you, and Sigrid kept you fed, schooled, free to dream. And you pawned your ma's jewels for what? This I gesture at the apartment, its cold shine a mockery of the cottage. I'm fighting to keep the mortgage notice haunting me. The AI assistant hums oblivious, and I want to smash something to make him feel this hurt. Torin steps closer, eyes flashing, and the table tween us feels like a battlefield. You think it was easy, he says, voice cracking now. Not so controlled. Living in your shadow, hearing about the sea, the Vaughns like I owed you my life. I needed money, Dad. My firm's start up the gala. It's all or nothing. His words sting, but there's truth in them. A glimpse of the boy who tried to please me, who held that knife on the dock, learning to fish. But he chose to sell us out to break what I built. The knife's heavy in my pocket, and I pull it out, its blade gleaming under the neon lights. Torin tenses, but I ain't here to hurt him, never could. I set it on the table, slow, its wood handle worn. Mara's initials, a silent cry. This was us, I say, voice breaking. Your ma me you, Sigrid. You sold it, Torin. For what? The table's glass reflects the knife, a cold mirror of the oak table back home, set for a family that don't exist no more. The motif of tables, mine, empty his sterile cuts as deep as his words. Torin's breath catches his eyes on the knife, and he softens just a flicker, like the boy I knew is still in there. I needed freedom, he says, voice low, almost a whisper, like he's confessing. From you, from Gloucester, from all of it. The admission lands soft but heavy, and I see it, his resentment, his hunger to be more than my son. But it don't erase the theft, the years of pawning Mara's memory, while I believed in him. I step back, the city hum, filling the silence. Torin's breath shaky now. I gave him my life, and he's chosen his own, leaving me lonely, disconnected like so many old men in 2015-2025, watching their kids chase new worlds. I pick up the knife, then set it down again, final-like. You're free, I say, voice steady, though it breaks me to say it. I turn for the door, jacket damp against my skin, leaving the receipt, the knife, the fight behind. As I step into the hall, the AI's hum fades, the folk tune echoing in my mind. I'm walking away, but the question gnaws, will I give up Torin's words, freedom ring true, but they don't heal the sting of his rejection. I got nothing left but the cottage, and even that's slipping. What's next for me, for us? Dawn's glow seeps into my Gloucester cottage, a soft light chasing shadows from the oak table, still set with cold bisque bowls and empty chairs. It's morning, November 3rd, 2025, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, sitting heavy, like the weight of last night's fight with Torins pinned me down. The mortgage notice looms by my clunky phone. Final notice, staring me in the face, a reminder, this cottage, my last piece of Mara, might slip away. A radio hums low, some 2020 clip muttering or spout economic recovery, stalls its words buzzing like flies round my head. Leora Mendez sits across, sipping coffee, her gray eyes steady but kind, like she's waiting for me to break. The waves crash outside softer now, and the air smells of salt and regret. I'm unmoored, abandoned, after learning Torin pawned Mara's jewels for years, and Sigrid stood by silent. But Torin's words, I needed freedom, cut deepest, making me wonder if I'm the one who broke us. I grip my mug, coffee's warmth, lost on my hands, rough from years hauling nets. He said I trapped him. I mutter, voice rough, the fight replaying in my head, his Boston apartment glass walls, that damn AI humming. I left Mara's fishing knife there, hopin' it'd mean something, but I'm not sure it did. Leora sets her mug down, the clink sharp in the quiet, and leans forward, her face lined like driftwood. You went to see him, she says, not a question, her voice carrying the weight of her own loss, her son long gone to neglect. What did you learn, Eldrick? I shake my head, staring at the empty chairs, their silence louder than the waves. He's been selling us out, Leora. Mara's jewels are past. And Sigrid knew didn't stop him. The words burn, but it's Torin's freedom that sticks like a hook I can't pull free. Leora's eyes narrow, not judging, just seeing. You ever ask what they needed? She says, soft but pointed. You gave him everything, but did you ask? Her words hit like a squall, and I'm back in 2010, Torin 20, sitting at this table, his face tight. Dad, I don't want to do law school, he'd said, voice shaken. I want to start a business, something mine. I'd laughed, clapped his shoulder, said Vaughns. Don't quit, son. Law's steady like the sea. I pushed him, thinking I knew best, thinking my sacrifices, nights on boats, dreams sold were enough. He'd looked away, and I didn't see the hurt, didn't ask what he needed. I was too busy holding tight, keeping us together like Mara'd want. The waves crash, pulling me back, and I realize Leora's right. I pushed him away, holding tight. I think the subtext raw, a truth I ain't faced. I ignored Torin's plea, assumed my way was his. Sigrid too, her art, her driftin', maybe I didn't listen neither. I thought I was enough, but maybe I wasn't not the way they needed. The regret deepens, unacknowledged sacrifices turnin' sour, leaving me lonely, rigid, widen the gap between us. I thought I was enough. I admit, voice crackin' the words spillin' like bilge water. Leora nods, her silence a mirror showing me my own stubbornness. The radio drones on, markets down, pensions hit hard, and I glance at the mortgage notice knowing I might sell the cottage. Let it go like I'm letting go of them. I stand, legs heavy, and walk to the window, staring at the sea, its waves rollin' steady, reflecting my failure in their gray depths. The silent scene holds me no words, just the sea's truth. I ain't just a victim. I'm part of this break. I turn back, grabbing a scrap of paper from my pocket, the pen from last night's grocery list still there. My hands tremble as I write the words, coming slow like pulling teeth. I was wrong. It's not a note to them, not yet, but to me a confession. I fold it, shoving it in my pocket, the act final like dropping anchor. Leora watches sipping her coffee, and I feel the dawn's glow on my face, cold but clear. What's in the note? The question lingers, a cliffhanger, even I don't know the answer to, as I wonder what's left to say, or if I can face him again. The Gloucester Veterans Center hums with quiet morning life, its hall lights casting a soft glow over folding chairs, and American flags hung proud on the walls. It's November 3rd, 2025, just past dawn, and I'm Eldrick Vaughn, 58, arranging tables for the center's Thanksgiving meal. My hands steady despite the weight of yesterday. Mara's fishing knife sits heavy in my pocket, its initials MV, a silent companion. Sigrid's painting of empty chairs hangs on a wall, its stark lines softened by the warmth. Here a gift I brought to share something of her, of us. Outside, the waves roll gentle, their rhythm mingling with the clatter of coffee pots and the murmur of volunteers. A veteran, grizzled and lean, mentions passing a 2025 Maine storm on the news, worst in a decade. He grumbles, and I nod, feeling the calm after my own storm, Torin's betrayal, Sigrid's silence, my own stubbornness laid bare. I'm different now, lighter, like I've cut the anchor that's been dragging me down. Last night, facing Torin in his cold Boston apartment, I saw his need for freedom, and Leora's words this morning. You never asked what they needed, showed me my fault. I pushed him away thinking my sacrifices were enough, but I was wrong. I wrote it down a note confessing my part, and now I'm here building a new table, not for them, but for me. I'm enough for me. I think the subtext steady a catharsis that's been a long time coming. The loneliness that's haunted me, Torin's theft, Sigrid's complicity, The empty chairs at my cottage don't own me no more. This community, these folks, they're a shield against the isolation that's gripped so many like me in 2025. I pull a folded note from my pocket, the one I scribbled at dawn, and pin it to the bulletin board by the door. Join me here. I'll wait, it says. Simple an invitation for Torin and Sigrid to come to this Thanksgiving meal if they choose. It ain't a plea, not like before. It's a door left open, but I ain't waiting on 'em to walk through. The act feels final, like dropping a net one last time, and I step back, the knife's weight in my pocket, a reminder of Mara, of what I've carried and what I'm letting go. A creak at the door turns my head, and there's Sigrid, hesitant, her eyes wide, hair loose like she's been up all night. She sees her painting, then me, and pauses like she's testing the ground. My heart catches, but I don't rush to her, don't beg. I nod, a small thing, and she steps in her boots, soft on the floor, her steps echoing in the quiet hall. I don't know if she'll stay, or if Torin'll come, but her being here, even unsure, is enough for now. I turn back to the tables arranging cups, and start pouring coffee for the veterans trickling in their faces, weathered but warm. Thanks, Eldrick says, one a guy with a navy cap, his smile crinkling his eyes. I smile back, the first real one in days, and it feels good, like hauling a full trap. I'm serving help in part of something bigger than my broken family. The hall fills, voices rising, and I imagine Winter Harbor Jig playing soft, its fiddle notes weaving through the chatter, a New England tune Mara loved. The knife in my pocket don't feel heavy no more. It's just there, a piece of her I carry, not a burden. I step to the side, watching the room, the folding chairs filling with folks who know what it's to lose to keep going. Sigrid's still by the door, looking at her painting, and I wonder what she sees, regret, maybe, or a chance to start over. I don't push, don't ask. I've built a table for 'em, my kids, but now I'm building one for me here with these people. My voice echoes in my head, steady like a voiceover to this moment. Built a table for 'em now for me. It's my truth, my worth, and it's enough. I walk outside the beach, stretching before the center waves lapping gentle under a pale sky. The knife's still in my pocket, but I don't need to hold it. I'm at peace, the sea's rhythm my own. I stand, boots in the sand, and let the wind carry my regrets away. Will they show? The question lingers hopeful, but it don't own me. I'm here whole, and that's all I need. I glance back at the center, the lights warm, Sigrid's steps, a quiet possibility, and think, who's at your table? Share it, folks. As I stand on the Gloucester beach, the waves whispering soft, and the veterans' center's warmth lingering behind me, I feel a peace I ain't known in years. Pinning that note for Torin and Sigrid, inviting them to join me, wasn't just for them. It was for me, a step toward healing. I learned that family ain't just blood. It's the folks who show up, like the veterans sharing coffee, or Leora with her quiet wisdom. My mistake was holding so tight I pushed my kids away, but love means listening, not just giving. In life, if we open our hearts to hear others even when it hurts, we find a way back to each other. Here in 2025, with storms raging and times tough, that's what keeps us anchored. If this story stirred something in you, share who's at your table in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories, and stick around, there's more where this came from.